Well, that's a bit more like it. Wolves come away with all 3 points against Tottenham Hotspur today in a game of two halves, I think you could call it. The first half, really lacking quality from our point of view. I think Spurs controlled it for the most part. Oliver Skipp looked really confident in the midfield, winning balls. But Spurs just had full control of it. They were winning fouls. They had majority of the possession, shots. I don't think we fashioned a decent opening until halfway through the second half. So I think they did well to shut us out in terms of that. But there wasn't enough application from our players as well. I think they pressed well, but at the same time we were sat. There were times where the stadium was getting properly impatient at the lack of pressing from the team. We were sat back, comfy, resting on our laurels a bit on the edge of our own box and just inviting pressure. So to enter half time at 0-0, having not conceded a goal when we easily could have done, I think was a bit of a blessing in disguise, really, because it gave Lopetegui the opportunity to get into him at half time and cause a reaction and create a reaction for the second half, and that's what came. Players actually giving it some, putting some pride in the badge, pride in the shirt, come out, and it was a really impressive second half. I think the best second half we've seen under Lopetegui for quite some time, because our recent form has seen decent first halves and really poor second halves. But I think that a big reason for that are the substitutions, and I think on the most part, Raul Jimenez gets a lot of stick, and he hasn't been good enough. We know this, but today he was absolutely brilliant. He was a performance of old from Raul Jimenez, and it's so refreshing to see. He put everything into that performance today. I think he was tracking back, winning tackles, making blocks, and he was as a sole striker against three centre backs, he gave his absolute all, and he was a nuisance for him. Equally was Adama Traore, who ended up scoring the goal, and God knows how he's put that in. I think people were saying around me that he's actually managed to stick it in because he didn't have time to think. He kind of just had to swing a foot at it and hope, and kind of hit and hope type job. So it was really good to see him get his moment, because he's been good off the bench recently too. So yeah, a game of two halves. Really poor first half, with some players really not showing a lot. Sarabia and Núñez once again, big high-profile players not stepping up to the plate. But it was the unsung heroes of today. Jimenez usually gets a lot of stick. Semedo's had his fair share of stick. Dawson was brilliant as always. But yeah, the second half was much more positive. I think going forward, Jimenez with even Cunha up top might be the play, because I think with that support we get we could create some real openings. So no, I'm looking forward to the next few weeks. Hopefully we can turn our form around, and cheers for having me on.
A very nice 1-0 shithouse win for Wolves this afternoon. When the game kicked off, I thought, we could be in for a long afternoon here, because Spurs started on the front foot and we looked tired and devoid of ideas, really. But as the game sort of went on, it was clear that the game plan was to sit in the five at the back with Lamina on Kane and sort of soak up pressure and hit them on the counter. And we did it a couple of times. We just couldn't find the final ball. So I thought we were kind of lucky to get in at halftime at 0-0, because they had definitely a good couple of chances. But it felt like as soon as the second half came around, we'd sort of maybe the game plan was to contain them for the first half and then sort of press ridiculously highly in the second, and that's what sort of happened, because it felt like when Raul came on for Costa and Neves and Moutinho and that old guard came on and started pressing really high, we forced them into mistakes and started creating some chances. And credit to Raul, by the way, because he came off the bench and was just like watching the Raul of old. That's 2 out of 3 of his last performances now where he's been great, I think. And he's starting to look a lot more confident. I don't know if there's a mentality shift that Lopetegui's put into him, but I think I would probably proceed now with him up front as the main number 9 with Cunha in behind, because their link-up was really nice today when they were both on the pitch. So I'm really happy. I just hope Adama I don't want him to go. I really don't. I know that he's got loads of interest from European clubs abroad that are in Europe, like Napoli and Atletico Madrid, whatever. I really want him to stay. I just think he can change a game sometimes if he's really on it. And just once in a while, like today, he just pulls something out of the top drawer. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the result. And hopefully we can take this as momentum into Newcastle. Yeah, really, really happy. Come on.
Wolves 1, Spurs 0. What a game that was. To be honest, started poor. I don't think we barely touched the ball for the first 5 minutes. First half, we don't think we had a shot. We were definitely second best. Son finding quite a lot of space, but defended well. Saar made I think 1 or 2 saves, but yeah, generally defended it quite well. But yeah, gave Son far too much space in that first half. Didn't really get on the ball, didn't really control it. Seemed to drop Lamina into second half. I think he seemed to be man marking Kane, which he did well, to be fair to him. He had a good game first half. Yeah, so but first half to forget really quite a poor half of football, and Wolves definitely second best team. Second half completely changed it. Collins came on for Lamina, playing at centre half. So yeah, played well there. Coutinho came on for Nunes, Adama coming on for Sarabia, and Kuna coming on as well. And really and Jimenez on for Costa in the first half, who got injured. And I have to say, I thought Jimenez was back to his best today, really. Picking up little spaces, holding the ball up, laying it off. Yeah, had a really good game. Adama causing problems down the right-hand side, like we know he can. And the goal really just came from the old adage of, if you don't shoot, you don't score. Jimenez gets the ball on the edge of the box, turns well, rifles one in towards goal. Probably a fairly comfortable save for Forster, but he's had to palm it back out. And a lovely touch from Adama on the volley. Straight into top corner, in off the crossbar. Great goal, 1-0 up. And I have to say, after that, I was never really that worried. I thought we played well, defended well, 3 centre-halves, dealt with everything that came into the box. And the last 4 minutes with added time, we just did what we needed to do. Kept the ball in the corner, keep playing it off them, keep getting the throw-ins, the corners, etc. Jimenez came across for one and got taken out for a free kick. And yeah, so all round really, second half, just a great performance. Neves with a few shots from outside the edge of the box, mostly on target, obviously saved, but yeah, again, just seemed to find his shooting boots and played really well. Another shout out for Moutinho as well. I thought he did well when he came on, won the ball a bit higher up the pitch, and you know what you're getting with him. He's just going to recycle that ball, he's going to keep possession, and make sure we keep hold of it, which unfortunately the downside, I guess, of the performance, say particularly first half, was Nunes. I thought one of his worst games really in a Wolves shirt. He does so much well. He gets the ball, he beats a man, he opens his legs up, he finds space. His passing is woeful. Too many times just doesn't find the target, and it's really not good enough. Well, I say, I don't want to be critical really of anybody after a performance like that. Great win, 3 points, 6 points clear now, the bottom 3. Hopefully that sees us safe. But second half, you got to take your hat off to Lopetegui. Absolutely brilliant substitutions. Went to 3 at the back. It worked really well. Created multiple chances, probably more chances than we've created in 90 minutes in a lot of games. And yeah, excellent win, and much needed 3 points.
Get in talking Wolves. What a result in the end today. According to Wolves Twitter on Wednesday, we were getting relegated. Today we're 13th. What a difference a week makes. Well, not even half a week in a result. I'll have to do this one on the walk today because the missus phoned me at the end of the game and said, "I've just seen you've won. Do you want to meet me down the pub for a beer?" Yes, I fucking do, darling. Yes, I fucking do. What a woman. Credit to Lopetegui because he's the big difference today. And he's the reason we got 3 points. Because at half time we made some big subs after a terrible first half. I did think, was Lamina going off? I did see at the end of the game when he came on to celebrate that he looked like he was limping, so possibly injured. So yeah, maybe a necessary sub, but again, everyone done brilliant today. Raul had a big hand in the goal. He looked really sharp. His turn and strike for when Traore scored was a big credit to him because that's the Raul of old, isn't it? When he's turning and hitting the ball like that. Then obviously you've got Traore on the follow-up, which you're thinking, no, don't shoot. But he loves a spectacular goal against Spurs, doesn't he? Oh, crashed in off the bar. Beauty. And credit to him because he had a brilliant performance when he come on at half time. He really done exactly what was needed, and I think he's got it under Lopetegui more than he's ever got it under any other manager at Wolves. He knows his role now. Even when he's coming off the bench, he's not sulking anymore. He's playing well. And that's a credit to Lopetegui, credit to him, getting the tune out of him, and I think he's a unique talent, and I'd love to keep hold of him. But it wouldn't everyone. I thought all the subs had a role today. Even Martino, when he come on, he showed up that midfield. We looked to have more control, and I've been critical of him, been critical of Raul. But again, Raul today was brilliant when he come on. I know it was a necessary sub because Costa got injured. But again, I was calling for Cunha. What do I know? What do I know? I think I don't need to say too much else because a 1-0 win against Spurs is not something we expected after the Liverpool performance. And after that first half, it's definitely not something we expected. Credit to Lopetegui at half time, because again, Collins as well, credit to him because he come on, looked really good. But again, Dawson, massive influence on both Kilmans and Collins. So yeah, 1-0 win up to 13th. Let's see if we can keep it going. I'm sure Neves is banned now because it's his 10th yellow card, 2-match ban, which is a bit shit. But let's keep it going and see where this season takes us and build on it. What a win, ball. Let's keep it going. Oi, oi.
It's finished. Wolves 1, Tottenham 0. A brilliant result today. I'm not going to say it was a brilliant, world-class performance from us today, but I'm definitely going to say it is a brilliant, brilliant result. To win the game 1-0 after the performance that we put in against Liverpool on Wednesday night, against a top 4 team, is pretty special. So it's good to see us pick up another 3 points at home. Climbs us back up that table a little bit more, makes it look a bit less scary, but we're still by no means out of it at all. We've still got a long way to go. There's still some tough games and points to pick up for the rest of the season. So moving on to the game, I thought the first half was just a really poor game of football. Really, there's been a couple of chances for either side, and I know pundits will say that Spurs should have put the game away in the first half, which they probably should have. But thanks to some good defending from our lads at the back, we managed to keep it a 0-0. But what I will say about the first half was we just didn't know what we were doing, or didn't look like we know what we were doing. They played 5, and realistically, with 3 in midfield, you think, oh well, this midfield battle should be a lot easier for us. But we just lost it. We lost every duel. We couldn't win the second balls. We were getting overloaded in the wing back positions. And it just looked sloppy all half, really, and we had no chance. We didn't really create much as such. But saying that, Sar's probably had to make 2 or 3 saves in the first half and another 2 in the second half to keep us in the game. And I thought the defenders did really well today. A big shout out to our fullbacks, Semedo and Johnny. Johnny today, having watched him come back from 2 injuries, sorry, and be absolutely dreadful. I feared the worst today, and he's proved everybody wrong. He was brilliant everywhere today on the pitch. I thought him and Semedo were at the start of the season. You'd be thinking, who's at fault out of Johnny or Semedo for the goals that we were conceding. But it's good to see that they're finally playing well under Lopetegui. Moving on to midfield. Once again, I don't know what it is with Matheus Nunes at the moment. It's just some of his passing as a midfielder is worrying at times. The amount that he gives the ball away in really bad areas. Twice today, I think, he's made a bad pass and they've gone and on the counter.
But I don't want to dwell on the bad today. So let's talk about the second half. We've struggled in the second half in the past couple of games with Liverpool and Fulham as well, and Bournemouth in the second half. We were really poor. So you fear the worst when you come out for the second half and the manager's took Lamina off. So even I was questioning, I was like, what the hell is he doing? And I'm just going to shut up from now and let the manager do his job, because he obviously knows what he's on about and I don't. But the second half performance was brilliant from everybody. Everybody played well in the second half. The press we had on, the work rate, the bollocks we shown to get forward and try and attack Tottenham, who have got some world-class players up front. The back five that we changed to in the second half were brilliant. Collins, when he come on, not played a lot of football recently, come on and looked like he hadn't missed a game in weeks. Dharma, this is what frustrates me with Adama. 1 week he's absolutely superb like he was today, and then the other you don't know what you're going to get with him. And another shout out to Raul Jimenez today. He's been up for some talks recently with fans and other people about how bad or how arsed he looks. But today he was superb. He ran his absolute bollocks off. He ran for the team, worked hard for the team. He was flying into tackles, winning the ball back. And he's had a couple of chances to score. The header that Foster's made a good save from, and the shot that he's had for Adama to finish it off. And what a finish, by the way. I'd say you wouldn't think Adama has that in his locker, but you don't know what Adama's got in his locker. Because one week that flies in, the next it's on the crossroads. But it was just brilliant to see the lads work hard for the win today and put us in a bit of an easier position, especially with the results going our way as well. So it doesn't get any easier. Onto Newcastle next week. A tough away game. They're up the top at the moment. But if we play like we did second half, I think we've got a good chance. So, yeah. Cheers for me on, boys.